Today, from London, England, it's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. As we'll see Aaron Rodgers and the London Black Knights versus Tua Tagovailoa and the Baltimore Ravens.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the London Black Knights. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at the Londoners as they get ready here. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
12 yards there and a first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On play action, now Rodgers eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 35. A gain there of 21 yards. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 14. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Here's a first and 10 at the 14-yard line. On first and 10, it's Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
1st and goal.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll try to run with Dobbins. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Dobbins, the ball
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal of the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
And it's caught. Touchdown. John Ross, his 11th touchdown on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Tua. He finds Smith out of the backfield. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Chris Carson.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
A loss of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
Now this time, Tua's going to throw it. Airing it out deep for Smith. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big-time 3rd down play for the Ravens. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1.
A gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and 1.
Now it's Carson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
On the option, a handoff to Carson. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Chris Carson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Take over. First down and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front, or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. 11 yards there, first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Now a carry for Dobbins. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that will be incomplete.
Rodgers pass intended for John.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
They do go for it. It's Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. On the option, here's Newton. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Ross. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 17-yard line. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
7-7, our score after 1.
The score tied 7-7.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. Here's Dobbins. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find it.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guys have taken the lead. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swing the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
To Chris Carson. 5 yards on the play. And it's third.
Out of the gun on third down. Here's Tua. And that's caught by Smith. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
12.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Chris Carson on the
and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. That's complete into the hands of Carson. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
J.K. Dobbins.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
No gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
15-yard line.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And it's caught.
That's good.
And he's brought down. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll run with Dobbins, and he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25.
Complete.
Well, the protection was pretty good there. He was able to hold on to that for a long time, but just nobody could get open.
Excellent coverage downfield. As you mentioned, no one could get open. And he's just trying to avoid the sack and get the ball out of there. But he ends up dumping it off, and it ended up as a negative yardage play.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at the 15. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they're really in sync right now.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
They give to Dillon out of the gun. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
The ball carrier.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete.
John Ross. That's good for A.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down.
48-yard line.
On 1st down, Dobbins. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
He's across.
Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Rodgers now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Norton. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 30. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
At the 30-yard line.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown! Jalen Reagor, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
The kicker on.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
A big-time 3rd down play for the Ravens. 42 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now Tua. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Tua setting up shop to throw again. Completion here to Claypool. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Tua to throw again. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Aaron Donald able to record his 5th sack of the season.
3 scores down, not even at halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. 4th down. And this one is right through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
At their own 23-yard line.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. As we are back underway in the second half.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
1-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Tua going to throw. Now he's going to go up top. Oh, and got his man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. An option run with Tua. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. From midfield, here's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
At their own 20-yard line.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now he dumps this off over the middle.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Flushed out right. This ball complete to Rager. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, it's Rodgers. Open man is Ross, complete. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. He's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. 10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
A gain of 15. First down, Baltimore.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Check. Hey, let's go.
From the gun, it's Tua. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
37-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Now this time, Tua's going to throw it. And they finally get to him as he's taken down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5.
Over 1st and 10 at their own.
Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. And when I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far. On 2nd down, Dillon. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll run on first down. It's Jordan. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. Room here to run. And he is finally brought down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, it's Campbell. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. On 3rd down, Jordan. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it with Dillon. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. They'll run on first down. It's Jordan, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
And 4.
From the gun, it's Dillon. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A.J. Dillon, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Ravens 10.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here we go. Take 4, take 4.
On first down, Tagovailoa. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
He certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Don't get nervous. Check nickel.
Here's Tua. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Looking to pass. Tua. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw him off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
It's second down and 10.
Tua to try again on second down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. On first down, Jordan. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. They'll run it. Here's Dillon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Jordan. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
Gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9.
Here's Campbell. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. They'll run with a big man, Campbell. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
They'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
Number 40.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule. If someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of it. That's just who they are.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Still fighting. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. They'll run the screen with Carson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 more there and another 1st down. And again, it's Tagovailoa.
Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
To number 89.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that will cut this lead down to 25. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
London about set to take over on offense as they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6.
And they will take a knee here.
Today's final score, Black Knights.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the home team here, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So